I wrote this about 22 years ago, and then I totally forgot it. I didn't play it for about 15 years, and when I was in Holland this last time, I remembered it. So we'll give it a go. And my friend Ben was playing at Picasso's tonight. Sometimes when he's playing, I play steel with him, and he's just an awesome songwriter. So you should check him out. Pete, this is Ben. Ben, Pete. Play here. Actually, we're gonna instead of finishing with the totally morose tunes, we're gonna play some morose songs, and then we'll finish with some decidedly mid-tempo songs. Because God knows, I love it when I'm playing and somebody says, "Hey, do you have anything upbeat?" You know? And the last song we played was pretty upbeat, so. Let's see. Why don't we play? I'm going to play "Beautiful Place to Rest," and then we'll play "Magnolia Leaves and Stillness," and then we'll finish with some other stuff. So I'm going to retune for this one, and again, thanks for being here. It's such a cool. It's so cool being surrounded by all these awesome guitars, and it's great that you came out, especially when River Fest was going on and the fireworks and all that. But we got the fireworks on the break, so screw them. Retune here. Put the capo on and then retune again. So this next song, I was lucky enough to meet there's a place in the southern Netherlands where the American Cemetery in the Netherlands is in Margraten, and there are 8,301 Americans buried there, and every grave has been adopted by a Dutch family since this cemetery was opened, and there's a huge waiting list. And I was lucky enough to meet the family that adopted the grave of my great uncle Edward Gray when I was there last September. So, as I tell this story as I'm retuning, and I have no ability to mute, I apologize, but they were asking me questions about my uncle, and I knew a little bit about him. But so I went home and I did some reading, and there's an amazing website. He was a sergeant in the 17th Tank Battalion of the 7th Armored Division, and he grew up in he was born in San Francisco in 1910, so he's a little older than the other soldiers, and he was a tractor driver in a small valley town, Dos Palace. He worked for a farmer through the Depression years, and he entered service in 1942 in May and went through basic training, and then in 1943 he was on the Queen Mary, went to England, and he started his war in Normandy, on Utah Beach, and he fought all the way through Normandy and the rest of France, and then in the summer and then in the fall he was in Holland. At some of these, it's crazy, some of the places where I played and stayed, I found out he traveled right through. And then in the winter, he was in the Battle of the Bulge in Belgium, and then he was killed March 27, 1945, 3 days after they crossed the Rhine. And so he ended up staying there, and he's buried at the American Cemetery in the Netherlands. And it's just amazing. Even if you're not a family member, it's amazing to see the level of respect and remembrance that these people have. So I wrote this song after meeting the Herman's family, and they invited me to come back. It was like the greatest honor of my life to be invited to this place to play, because it means way more to me than being invited to the Grammys or anything like that, because this actually meant something. I was able to play the concert in Margraten this last May, the American where the American Cemetery is, for the visiting Americans and for the Dutch families, and to be able to play this song for those people at that occasion was just huge. In my hands, there's more people than I've ever played for, and I drank a huge amount of water, and they called me up there. Lauren was there, and I got up there and my mouth had never been so dry, and my hands were shaking super bad. So I played this song. It's about my uncle and just being inspired by the beautiful cemetery and these Dutch families. It's called Beautiful Place to Rest. And I forgot the words, which happens. Maybe. Minding my own business in a decade gone bust. Driving slow with squinted eyes in the dust palace dust. When the world revealed itself in all its skill, someone always takes a shot to bend the will. Pulled me from the life I knew and dropped me in the ranks. They said, if you can drive a tractor, boy, you can surely drive a tank. The Queen Mary was so crowded, riding low, and England was so green, we marched in rows. They beat us down to mix up the right shade of me. They painted stripes and formed us till we moved like a team. When we finally found ourselves on Utah Beach, we needed every trick that they could teach. When you see me now, with my brothers far beyond the fear, the difference made is clear as day when you see the children here. We left our homes and gave our best, and in return you've given us remembrance. It's such a beautiful place to rest. Monty had some plans for us. He thought he saw the light. We tried to pave a garden road with a bottleneck too tight. Through Hammert we moved on to Overloon. The autumn here in Holland stole our bones. December was confusion and shattered trees and fire. And Sandvith is our home now. We're frozen and tired, trying hard to keep our heads and keep our toes. The books can tell you how the story goes. Now we're taking miles every day, and now the end's in sight. When you see what they have done here, you keep the will to fight. On the 24th of March we crossed the Rhine. I didn't know that I'd be dead in 3 days' time. When you see us here, we're all together, far beyond the fear. You speak our names, you tend our graves, you bring your children here. We left our homes and gave our best, and in the end you've given us remembrance. Such a beautiful place to rest. The Queen Mary's riding high on her way home. All right, I'm going to retune yet lower. We're going to play 2 more songs. I'm going to play 2 of my favorites actually, and the last one at the end for Andy and Rachel because they like it. So. And then I'm going to ask my friends to get back up here. I appreciate your patience with my retuning because this is going really low. And again, put the capo on and retune. Thanks again to Pete, and thanks for people to, coming out. I really appreciate it. Super cool. It's awesome to play places like this if you're a songwriter into lyrics, because people listen. Now's the point in the evening where I scream, "Go to your home!" So if you guys want to come back up here and tell jokes and play some music with me while I'm tuning. Again, thank you so much to Ryan Svoboda, Lauren Eugenio, Bradley Dawson, and Bobby Jr. with the cool hat. It's called Magnolia Leaves. May not parade these unbroken ties, keep for myself the glance from your sharp eyes. Though I do feel a lack, something stronger than myself alone, I have remained intact. Pieces here and they've grown, much to my surprise. Shed this haze, remembering comes easily. I'll bring it all on, judge myself accordingly. While I have watched these scenes, they tumble like magnolia leaves to cover my smile. I tend to lose my breath, keeping with this little death that keeps flashing right before my eyes. And I once may have felt that blindness is bliss. I can't embrace that now. There's no taste in me to keep. So I will watch this world as it passes like a slow cloud. Keep my head up as I remember how, though I do feel the lack, the laughter keeps coming back to fill me, and it will stay with me, burned into this memory, never fading, right behind my eyes. And I once may have felt blindness is bliss, but I can't embrace that now. Thanks a lot. Right now for the slow part of the evening. This song's called Stillness. I play this for my friends Andy and Rachel there. So that last song was on the Sailors Talk record, and this next one's definitely going to be on the next one. I'm just going to do a really stripped down acoustic and vocals and very few overdubs with some really just mellow songs. So. Like an avalanche, pieces of your broken smile slid to the floor. If you could run now, you'd hope to find your legs in the distance to the door. Drifting toward your car, alone now with your wreckage and these cold, cold stars. Maybe you'll go home if it's still there. You could use some stillness in your state of disrepair. Go looking for some good place who wants you to be there. days. Have you shrugged under the weight of it, like Atlas on display for all to see? Your designs are falling flat. You feel like a mosquito in the belly of a bat. When you build up a crest, the fall will likely shatter those who've overreached their nets. Maybe you'll go home if it's still there. You could use some stillness in your state of disrepair. Go looking for some good place. We want you to be there. Surprised to feel this old. Can you give up all your silver friends for one that's made of gold? And your fears are proven true. You suspected from the start. You still push straight on through to find you here. And we've all done the same. Find a way to step around the faces and the names. Maybe you'll go home if it's still there. We could all use some stillness in our times of disrepair. Go looking for some good place, and we'll hope to see you there. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it. Thanks. So once again, thanks to Pete, thanks to all of you for coming out. Turned into a super cool evening. And this is Bradley Dawson. This is Bobby Schneck Jr., Bobby Jr. This is Ryan Svoboda. And this is Lauren Eugenio. And it was a pleasure playing for you this evening. Thanks. Now everyone can check out guitars.
Cash register is still open.
Thank you so much, Pete.